The backhand flick is one of the best attacks in all of pickleball, and it's especially deadly when you're dinking at the kitchen line. So in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to hit the backhand flick in under 5 minutes. Let's get into it. So the first thing I wanna talk about is which balls you can use this backhand flick on. Now, I'll see a lot of people be like, oh, well, Ben Johns hit a backhand flick from his shoelaces. And I'm like, well, you know what? You're not Ben Johns. But what is really cool about this shot is you can actually use it on balls that are around net height, which makes this shot super deadly because you're able to now attack balls that you honestly wouldn't be able to otherwise. That's why this shot is really amazing. So if you are wanting to use your backhand flick, I would take any ball that's above net height, but also right around net height. Now, the lower you go, the harder and more advanced this shot is. That's why I say try to stick around net height level. Next, we're gonna go into positioning and swing paths. So the very first thing you want to do is make sure that you have your knees bent. Now, this is really important because part of this shot is being able to see the bottom half of the ball. That's where you're going to hit it with your paddle. So in order to see the bottom half, you need to bend your knees. Okay, next thing I want to talk your paddle positioning. Now, you're going to start with your knuckles facing down. So cocking that wrist, knuckles facing down in that shot, paddle tip down, okay? That's what's going to give this ball topspin. What you're going to do through the shot is you're going to use your wrist and you're going to almost windshield wiper up. Now, here's where a lot of people make a mistake, is they'll just windshield wiper and they won't actually push forward. You have to give that ball some forward momentum, otherwise it's gonna go in the net. So paddle tip down, push forward through the shot, and then your paddle tip's gonna end up again, okay? Wrist cocked this way. So it's a very small wrist movement. See, I'm not doing a ton here. What you don't want to do is have a crazy wrist movement. You're not going to be able to control it or aim it. So very small wrist movement, cock it, paddle tip down, ends paddle tip up, very small movement. Make sure you're going forward through the shot. I'm going to show you how it looks.
Now I'm going to talk through a little slow motion breakdown of the shot. So you'll notice my knees are bent. Then I immediately cock my wrist and have that paddle tip facing down. Now here's a really good observation. The paddle face is closed, meaning that paddle tip is behind where my wrist is. This is what allows you to kind of whip through the shot and get forward momentum on the ball. Now I want to talk about the follow through. Now there are different types of follow throughs depending on the kind of ball that you get. Some are smaller like this and some are bigger like this. I think keeping your follow through really compact and short is great at the kitchen line, especially when you're dinking. Then you're ready for that next shot. Having a bigger follow through is going to be more of your put away shot, or you can use this even when a team is hitting their third shot or they're at the baseline and you have more time.
Oh, hey, if you're watching this channel, it probably means that you really like pickleball. And if you really like pickleball, you probably want to get better at it, which means you should enroll in my free Mastering the Dink video series. What's going to happen is you're going to click the link below and I'm going to send you one video to your inbox every single day for the next 15 days with a tip that's going to level up your dinking. Now back to the video.
So a great way to practice this is honestly just to line up across the kitchen with your partner and start with a dinking battle and find that yellow ball net height to work on. One of you is always going to be flicking, the other one's always going to be blocking and hitting dinks. Now, because this flick takes time away from your opponent, since you're not letting that ball bounce before you attack it, it's really important that you get your paddle ready for that next shot. The flick isn't necessarily the winner. Oftentimes it just causes an error and it's the next ball that you're looking for. So make sure when you hit that flick that you reload quickly and hit that next one. So a mistake that will kill people on this shot is collapsing and letting your chest face down and overreaching, okay? That ball's probably gonna go into the net every single time. So imagine like you have a bubble around you. Let the ball get to your bubble to flick it, okay? That way your chest isn't collapsing down and you're keeping your chest facing towards your opponents. Now I'm gonna give you a bonus tip that I see Ben Johns using all the time, and he's the king of the flick. And what he does is when he's cross-court dinking, he'll often prepare with his paddle face closed and in this cocked position, okay? And this way he's able to take that dink out of the air if he's able to. But if he's not, what he'll do is he'll adjust his angle, realizing when he can't hit a flick, and then he'll just go into that slice. So that's a really tricky way to prepare early and be able to take dinks out of the air super easily and throw off your opponents. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you give me a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next one.